Hey YouTube, Sam here. Well, we're going to try it again. You may remember I did an O2 sensor in my 98 GMC Sierra. It was Bank 1 Sensor 1. Can't remember, 1 or 2. Anyway, it was in the driver's side exhaust anyhow. And if you want to check that out, it's the O2 sensor, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mostly it was bad and ugly. So I'm going to try to get this one out. This one is actually Bank 2 Sensor 2, which means it's in the passenger side exhaust pipe, and it is the second one back. There are 4 in this truck. So what I'm going to start out by doing is spraying this thing with some WD-40, and I'm going to let it sit for quite a while, and hopefully that will make it so it comes out much better than the last one. If not, you may see me welding another bung into an exhaust pipe. We'll see. So anyhow, we're going to get started. First things first, I'm going to get out the WD-40. And it should go without saying, jack up your truck and don't forget jack stands. But I will say it just in case you're that dumb that you don't do that. Anyhow, behind what I believe is the catalytic converter is the O2 sensor we're taking out, and it is plugged in behind this little box on the frame here. Hopefully you can see that. The lighting's not perfect, but anyway, the wire goes through and in here and in behind this little cover of the frame where that box is this 1/2 inch? Yeah, I'm using a 1/2 inch. You could use a 13mm, they're pretty close to the same, but a 1/2 inch actually seems to stick on there a little better. And I put WD-40 on that and let it sit for a while, and it's just turning nicely. So we're going to pull that off and take off that box on the other side there when we're done. Alright, and behind that box is that plug right there. It goes up to the O2 sensor. And I'm going to go ahead and unplug that. Alright, and then my surprise, the part that unplugs actually disconnects, and the part that goes to your O2 sensor is actually hooked to the wall here. It's just got like a little plastic clip in there that you just gotta pry out of there. So get yourself a screwdriver, something to pry with, pop that out of there. Hopefully that'll come with the new one. See this. Now this is where I'm going to probably differ from a lot of people. Now they make a wrench that goes up around this wiring here and hooks on here and has kind of a groove in it. Well, the last time I tried to use that, it just split apart. It would not get a hold of this. So I found a 22mm wrench seems to work really well. Only problem is you can't get that up over, at least I can't get this over mine. Well, I checked. I have the right part. This is an old part. I'm getting rid of this anyway. I do want to keep this sleeve, however. It does seem to just have a rubber hoe or rubber sleeve over it, and I'm going to put this on just for a little bit of added heat shield, basically, is my plan. Now these wires actually have a clip on the other end of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and unhook that from there, and hopefully unhook this from here. I may have to do a little bit of fang dangling here. My wrench might hook. It'll go over that. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up over there. Hopefully, yep, I'll be able to get a good grip on it. It's a little bit. I'm going to go the other direction here. Bear with me. And like I said, that gives me a good grip on that. That is not going to move. Let's see, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So I want to actually pull towards me here. So I get a good grip. I'm going to put a pair of gloves on, or at least a glove on. I'm going to put my safety glasses on, perch myself against something here, and see if I can't get this stupid thing off here. Nope. So I'm going to put the big gun up here. I got another wrench. You've seen this probably several times on YouTube. Just take your box end wrench, put it there, grab purchase, and pop it loose. And we are loose. Hee-haw. Alright. So, you can choose to follow me on that one. If you break something or hurt yourself doing it, I'm not responsible. If you don't like the way I did it, don't do it. But it works. And this is a no good piece anyways. It's going to be, well, put in the scrap pile, and the wires will be recycled. It'll all be recycled. But anyhow, I mean, I can loosen that with my hands now. Use the other end of the box. Other end of the wrench. And pull that out of there. That went so much smoother than the first one. But you don't need to watch me undo that with the wrench. Well, it was time to put it on. I went ahead and, actually I need to cut those off, but I went ahead and put this shield on there. I had to cut it up the middle because obviously it wouldn't fit over this. So I put some of these cool looking zip ties. Now the color of these zip ties, actually funny enough, when I start working on this truck, will be kind of a giveaway of some of the stuff I'm going to do to this truck. Hopefully that project will start here in the near future, but I want to get on to my Mustang before that happens, so I'll at least start on my Mustang first. Now, these are supposed to come with anti-seize on them already, but there's next to none on this one. Actually, last time I got one there was quite a bit more on there, so hopefully that's not a sign that this was brought back. But I am going to put some more anti-seize on here regardless if there was more or not. Now the biggest thing you got to be careful with is you do not want anti-seize getting onto this part here. It actually kind of looks like whoever did this got anti-seize on here already, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put a generous coating around the threads here. You probably can't see that. I'm shaking like a crazy man here. And I'm going to spend time putting the cap on here, and I'm going to carefully just stick that up in there, and a little bit of squeeze out coming this way won't hurt anything then. Just make sure you start it by hand. Please don't cross thread things here. If it's not going, there's a reason it's not going. So don't force it. Time to just kind of put her back together the way she came out. And there's the little clip that comes with the new sensor, and it just pops right in the hole there. Get that back there. Oh, something else before I go too much further. There's this little safety thing here that goes up in the hole here to kind of hold that from coming loose too. And then that pushes in the hole, and then we put back on the cover. Now, just because it's a cover doesn't mean it can be left off. This is for safety. It keeps rocks and crap from hitting those wires and screwing them up. So put them back on. Yet again, it's one of those pet peeves I have, that people just for some reason think that because it comes off it can stay off when it's just a cover. A lot of times that little things like that would save your bacon, so to speak, if they put them back on, because they're made for rock protection. Lots of rocks bounce around underneath your truck and cars, so put all the pieces back together the way they came off. Really, that's about it. I tightened this up. You guys can figure out your torque specs or whatever you want to do on that. Put the cover back on, plugged everything back together. In theory, that should be all that it takes. So if you do have a problem, a couple things. That wrench I told you about has a slice in it. The guy at the parts store, when I told him about how it came apart, he said to put a hose clamp on it, and after you get it up there, and hose clamp it together. Whether or not that works, you can try it out if you want. The 22mm wrench seems to be the way to go for me. When I tightened it back up, you don't need the box end to get, to tighten it. It doesn't need to be reefed on that hard. It just needs to be snug. But to get it off, you are definitely going to want to cut those wires and put the box end on if you choose to do it the way I do it. Anyhow, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. Y'all have a good one.